Welcome to Smartly Uneducated. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Um, yeah. Another early morning podcast session. I thoroughly enjoy the early morning sessions, Mr. Evan. I enjoy them. I do. Although
Yeah, I don't know why you
yeah.
I don't know why you refer to me as Mr. Evan, but, good morning, everybody. Well, I guess depending on whenever you're listening to this, good morning, good evening, and good night.
Ooh, that was a Jim Carrey reference.
Yeah, it was. The Truman Show, buddy.
Hell
Sometimes I
yeah,
think
dude.
I'm in the Truman Show.
So before we get into, we're going to talk about like two different topics today, 100%. Um, And one of them, I want to start with so sorry, I should probably say what the topics are. So first we're going to talk about the whole uh multiversal IT department concept for like a simulation. Bum bum bum. And then the other one will be called it's about Operation Cyber Polygon. And that is a real thing, and we will say what that really is about when we get to it. It has to do with cybersecurity and it's a very real thing. Something that's going on right now. Anyways,
Yeah.
so multiversal IT department. How do you feel about that, Evan?
How do I feel about it? I mean, multi-universal IT department. As somebody who knows very little about information technology, I mean, it's an interesting concept in its entirety, right? Like, if we are truly living in a simulation where everything is planned out and people are fixing bugs as we go along, it could make sense. There are stories I've heard of people who are thinking of a song inside of their head and then turn on the radio and it's in the same exact spot, the same exact beat.
Hmm.
Like, that's a bug. That's a glitch in the system that they need to immediately fix. And why are the humans and the radio waves in sync? They need to fix that bug.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, all right, if the whole simulation theory, like we live in a simulation type thing, like we took it to the next motherfucking level. Well, there would have to be an IT department to rectify that stuff, right? To manage everything, manage everything, and if there's issues, glitches, the works. Um, so with that being said, like that would incorporate like, and this is like, so I wrote down notes. I have notes that I wrote down for a fictitious topic, like 100% fictitious. Um, so I'm gonna read them out. You would have to have basically a way to have encrypted messages. So it'd be like or I labeled it quantum encoded messages. That's what I wrote
Okay.
down. So they would have to do this on a quantum level, right? Because I also talked to you about the idea of quantum, uh, uh, like how there's all quantum computing, right? And then I had mentioned the whole concept to you in a conversation about quantum uh, hacking, right? It's all theoretical, like not
Yeah, I
real,
love
but
the idea of quantum hacking. It's a fun little concept, right? It's like immediately something's happening and that quantum attack has happened so fast that you need to have a quantum reaction that is just as fast, if not faster.
yes. And I felt like that the like saying quantum encoded messages kind of fit it because if this is like a multiversal for a multi-universe IT department that manages all these simulations of everything that what we experience in simulation, then it was to be like, well, this would be on a quantum type level if it did exist, you know? The next one was like they would have to manage reality glitch repairs. For each universe, they would have to deal with like dimensional firewalls, which kind of makes sense because in our solar system, we've talked about in real life, like our solar system basically has this giant fucking firewall around us. We have this giant plasma wall that's literally a bubble. We're inside of a bubble. Our solar system's in a bubble of basically, this giant firewalls all around us. So if you think about it, like, that kinda lines up with the concept of, like, yeah, we have these firewalls set up for all these different realities, like, to keep them all protected. So it's like, if you're gonna transfer something from reality into this theory, this multiversal IT department. You get what I'm saying? It
I
kind of
do. Yes, yes, I do.
it
Um,
transfers
I,
well.
I keep going back to the Dragon Ball Z episode in season where they are having like a battle royale sort of battle around all these giant fighters, and they have these little tiny gods who are multi-dimensional, multi-universal, and they control all galaxies and all universes,
Isn't that
and they
the
are.
isn't that the Dragon Ball Z? Isn't that pretty recent that they're doing that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one was pretty recent. I think his name is Zeno. Yeah, Zeno, like Zen-OH. Um, he's able to destroy any universe and create any universe and take care of any issues that are going on within like I don't know, a fraction of a quantum second. I don't know,
Damn.
but so he's like the most powerful, super powerful. So that would be like the IT equivalent of somebody who is multi-universal, right? There's an issue in universe A, they have to fix that right away, and then universe A1, they have to fix the rectified issue before it happens there. So that's sort of what Zeno is all about. He's the omni god, if you will.
Ooh, and that's where the Ultra Instinct comes into place, motherfucker.
Yeah, brother. That's
Dude,
and
I stopped watching Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z. That was the last thing I ever watched on Dragon Ball, which is Dragon Ball Z. I watched Dragon
I
Ball and Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z, and then I never watched anything past that, mainly because I grew up. I say that, but I still watch anime. I just don't watch the anime you watch.
No, I don't. Wait, hold on. Don't bring up Food Wars. That.
Food Wars is awesome, dude. Dude, if you ever want to learn how to cream yourself from food, it's a great show to watch.
How do you explain that if somebody walks in watching that show on you, you're like, oh, I swear they're just eating food. I swear it's just food.
Yeah, no shit, right? Um, so to the multiversal IT department thing. So you know how people, so this is where I threw in the concept of God, right? Like how people are always talking about God and there's all these different religions that say bullshit about God, whatever,
Yeah.
their version and their interpretation. But it's like, what if, like, in reality, like true reality outside the simulation, he's just the original administrator, right? So he's like the lost admin. So I wrote him down as the lost admin. Like, and then I wrote this little bitty little descriptor next to it where I wrote legend has it that the original creator of the multiverse, referred to as the admin, left behind a series of ultra secure backdoors into every system in reality, which the IT department is tasked with protecting against discovery and misuse.
Oh, I was thinking more along the lines of he created it and put all these back doors in place with passwords that are encrypted, and then he quit. And now they're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, he's gone now. Like he's not
Yeah.
showing it. Like that's why I call him the lost admin because the IT department doesn't even know where he is.
He's
I
like
kind
he's,
of
he's like he's like he's like here's this amazing system. Now good luck figuring it out, you fuckers. Good
yeah,
luck.
I kind of got inspiration for that concept of him being gone from the show Supernatural. I don't know if you watch
Oh,
Supernatural
okay. I
because
have seen one episode.
in Supernatural when the angels finally are a thing in the show, God's not around. God's gone. They don't even know where God is. God just up and left. And so the
Hmm.
angels just stayed there doing what they were, made to do, right? And so they would be like the IT department in this, in their, concept
Yeah.
comparison. So only not evil. The angels turned out to be dicks in that show. So yeah, fuck those guys.
I think that's pretty par for the course.
And then let me read the next one. So the next one is, well, how would they have servers running? Well, I took the narrative of like, you got to have a server that can handle all this stuff. Well, I call them black hole servers. And I wrote
Oh.
some believe that the department uses naturally occurring black holes as super powerful data centers, harnessing their gravitational pull to perform computations beyond the capabilities of ordinary technology.
Dude, what kind of fucking weed did you smoke to get this idea out of your ass? This is awesome.
Because I have my head shoved so far into fucking tech shit nowadays that I think about things. I think it's because I do so much coding now in script writing that I think of. I don't know. It takes, when you start doing something, it kind of opens up doors in your head.
Well,
And
that's what happened with me, right?
and I've always naturally had a pretty big imagination. Like as a kid, like I always just naturally had a pretty in-depth imagination of just pulling just straight up stupid shit out of nothing. And this is where this comes from. At the
I
heart
can
of it.
see you. I can see you hitting your little vape, your little dab pen, and then talking to your dog. Listen, Oliver, I'm telling you, man, there's an IT department for everything. What about the galaxy, brother? What about the galaxy, man? You
Oliver.
get me, don't you, dog? You get me, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I sit there. I'm like, Oliver, are you really a dog? Are you really my friend? Because I love you so much. Please don't be fake. You're the one thing in this world that still loves me even when I don't like you. Like,
Please don't be just a line of code. God damn it. Please don't be just a line of
y-
code.
if we did live in if this whole thing we're talking about it was real, I would say that, like, and you were to find out that it is real, like you live it being a participant in this simulation, you find out it is real. I I'm not gonna lie, I would want to know what real reality looks like. You know what I mean? I would want to know more about that.
Yeah, of
But
course.
if what we're living in, like living in this, doesn't affect us in a negative way, like as in whether or not you're outside the simulation or inside the simulation, if there's no difference in what you experience, life, sense, feel, touch, taste, the works, because it's that simulation is that real that they created.
Mm.
Like, what would really push you to want to be out of it, other than just the plain Jane narrative of, well, I want to be in reality, like true reality. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, once you found out like the real realm, if you will, your family isn't there, like your loved ones, all your fucking belongings aren't there. I mean, you go to this real realm. What if it's just like an astral plane of just sand and fucking mountains and
Sand.
nothing? It's I
Sand.
you can think about anything, right? What if it's just like an ice planet that's covered in fucking poop, and you're like, it smells like shit here, and they're like, this is what it smells like, and we love it here. This is our air.
Oh,
I
that's
want to go
pretty
back to my
shitty.
existence. Thank you so much.
Oh, that would suck. But you mentioned sand, and you're like talking about how it'd be like, oh, it's just sand, bro. What if, like, how there was that like theory, or someone said something like, what if everything that we imagine, right, and we create as like fictitious, like in our heads, like like for instance, Star Wars. George
Yeah.
Lucas created Star Wars. He imagined this thing, he brought it to life.
Hold
But
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
what if,
hold on. No, if I may,
uh-huh.
he stole it from Flash Gordon and just expanded on it. Let's make that very clear. That George Lucas stole the idea of Flash Gordon from a TV show and made it into the Star Wars epic that it is. I
I
stand by that.
mean, either way, at the end of the day, he did it better. Fuck Flash Gordon.
Oh, Flash Gordon's fucking great, dude.
Dude, if I
Flash, saviors of the universe.
Dude, I didn't even hear you. You peaked the mic, and I have the filters in place to cut it off if you go over so many decibels, and you went, silence. Just e even right now, I can't hear you. Well, you're also far as fuck away from the mic.
Yeah, I tried to peel away from the microphone so that it would pick me up when I yelled, but I guess not.
Yeah, it just cut you off completely, my guy. But
Flash, saviors of the universe. There you go.
anyways, my point is that what if the idea, like the narrative, right, the story that he imagined was really placed into his head? The things we imagine, what if that's like things that we're like code that we interfere with or interact with, and we just happen to pick up some of it, and what we imagine and create, imagination wise, is really just other shit going on somewhere else, whatever, right? You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so
And
something that I struggle with on a daily basis, and I have talked to a therapist about it, is once learning about the simulation idea and the simulation concept is what is holding the simulators and the coders and the organizers of it from making me not real? And what if I'm just um, a part of somebody else's path, or vice versa? What if it's all about me and everybody put in my life is there to make me have struggles and it's my missions? And uh, I don't know. It's something that I
well,
struggle with. And
I have something to tell you on that. That might help.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do. I do, like legit. So
okay,
so you just said what you said, like struggling, like, oh, what if I'm not real, and blah blah blah, like you're just code, and on the other side, there's not like a body that you're in. You know what I mean? Like there's
hmm
nothing. You're just completely fabricated. Well, the fact that you said that, and the fact that you have your own original thought, right? So, in my multiversal IT department concept is that everyone in the world that we know of, not everyone's real. A lot of people are NPCs. Hence why you've got so many sheep. Like look, just let's just take America as an example, right? You have all these people who, it doesn't matter what logic and fact you put in front of them, they will dissuade from it, and they will be sheep, and they'll put their head in the sand. And it's like, even though they watch the person that they elected president or what the fuck ever do some stupid shit and made nothing but stupid decisions nonstop, that it's really ruining everyone, they still support that party to a fault. It's, and they have no original concept. Like they cannot accept reality of things going on around them in their day-to-day life. Those are NPCs, right?
yeah, yes,
So there's
yes.
only so many people per reality, per universe, like simulation universe, that are actually
Oh,
real. Everyone
so you're
else,
saying
yeah.
it's like a, massive multiplayer online game, an MMORPG, where
It basically, yeah.
A thousand people are real and everything else is just coded for us to interact with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
100%.
fun. I like that. So
That's
are we the
essentially,
characters? Are we the PCs and they're the robots?
I would
Because
say, go ahead.
hello, sir. What kind of coffee do you want today? 12 ounce, 16 ounce, 24 ounce? Hello, sir.
Oh yeah, and I really think, like, look at the music industry and celebrities. I think so. I think the majority of celebrities and music industry, everything in that nature. I think the majority of people in it that we see who are the musicians or actors or actresses are fake NPCs. They're simulated. They're created to be in place. That's why you have, like, every once in a while you have an actor who's like, wow, this guy's actually fucking down to earth. He doesn't act like the rest of them. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't participate in the game. You know what I mean? That concept. So yeah, 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 yeah. There you go, Murrow. See, I got some
Yeah.
ideas. I got some
That's
motherfucking
the
ideas.
That definitely helps me out a little bit, but it's still the concept that bugs me of if I can't see behind me what is stopping the coding or the game that I'm in from even existing or loading there. So it's like the field of view gameplay, right? So there's some games out there that you can play and it's only loading what you're able to. Did you just spill your water?
I so fucking did. I so fucking did. Luckily, it wasn't like a lot of water. It was just a couple drips. Luckily, the camera was on you when that happened. It didn't look like I was like spitting cum out of my mouth.
That was awesome. But yeah, it's just there's some games out there where it's like field of view perception based loading. So you turn the camera and everything around you loads. So what's stopping the coders from, like, once I look forward, everything behind me isn't real?
Well, that's the thing, is that in this simulated world, right? They have, like, we're talking about mass, like the simulation is a true simulation. So it's, everything's rendered. It's kind of like when you play like like a open world video game, like a new modern AAA title one. It loads the entire goddamn world. Even if you're looking this way, it's still loaded behind you and fully rendered
Yeah.
in a field of view. So your field of view is a true 360, but how far out that 360 boundary goes That's another question, right? It probably renders out as far as you can see, but it's very little in the grand scheme of how big the simulation is, which is the entire solar system. So the entire solar system would be fully rendered, but outside of that, it's not rendered. It's just raw data on the other
Yeah,
side.
I like
Hence
that.
why when we send out like NASA vessel or the whatever was sent out and it finally got to the firewall, right? And was transmitting shit back, it's transmitting just pure chaos back. Like, it's transmitting fuckloads of crazy radiation. It's like this big void of, like, space, like, where space becomes volatile as fuck, and there's nothing there, where there's just, like, asteroids, meteors, like, just fucking death until you get to
Yeah,
the next fucking solar system inside our galaxy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, so that's where things aren't rendered anymore because 'cause we're not supposed to be outside that fucking thing. Like,
that makes sense, right? Like, they send out the telescopes out to the, like, the firmware edge where they're not allowed to go past, and they're like, "We gotta look further out there," and they're like and they look, and they see little spots and little stars, and they're like, "That's more code, we gotta get out there to it.
hell
How do
yeah,
we get
dude.
to it?"
Yeah, and, you know, and the other thing is that when you get like because I talked about the whole, or I mentioned, the whole concept of, like, quantum encoded messages. Well,
Yeah.
it's all, like, basically, it's all the data encryption that's all around us
Would
outside
that
the
be, like,
solar system.
considered, would that be, like, considered light speed technology, or faster than light, like, communication-based things? Like,
I
because
think
if
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, because if the quantum-based, attacks and defenses would be, so quick that it would be very hard to compute on a, biological level, then there would need to be some sort of, AI or biologic humanoid that can, receive it and send it out, but it would have to be faster than light. Is that where? Because I guess what I'm trying to get at is the faster than light concept, it would have to be the quantum speed, right? Or
Yeah.
am I just fucking retarded?
Well,
Just
since we are in a simulation, my other thing, speaking of light and shit like that, the that brings me to the sun in our solar system. Yes, the sun is what gives us life to our perception, but in reality, in the IT department, the Multiversal IT Department, the sun is actually the allocated core for processing our virtual
whoa.
environment.
I
How do you
like
like
that.
that?
I
Yeah,
like that a
motherfucker.
lot. I like that a
And
lot.
that's where all of like so the whole you know, data transfer of encoded messages, it's all being coming out. It's all rendering or all of that data transmission is actually coming from the sun inside. You know what I mean? And and then that creates everything going on. Um yeah, that was part of my
That's
theory.
fucking cool. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The concept of the sun is actually the core
That was allocated.
running everything. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Unfortunately, the reason why we have so many glitches in our reality is because they decided to use an i3 processor, and it does not
It's
they're
out it's outdated now. It's
yeah,
outdated.
they've
They need
got,
to
like,
update it.
you know, like, they in all you know, in comparison to, like, something else that's out there relevant that we can, you know, in our actual reality, right? Like, they got, like, the i9 and shit like that out there for other VMs, but we're stuck with, like, an i3 in comparison, and that's why our solar system really fucks up with glitches all the fucking time.
Those of you
Like,
out there who when he said VM said, "VM, what's that?" That's a virtual machine. Because I didn't know what it was for a while, but I learned.
yeah, dude, it's our virtual machine, and we have the computing power of an i3. Hence why you see people glitch out all the time, and hence why you see birds freeze in the sky. And that's why we have the IT department here with their UFOs. Really, that's just the IT department coming in and fucking with
Oh,
shit.
dude, hold on. You just brought up UFOs. I just watched recently the Malaysian 370 disappearance of the s of the plane.
Mhm.
And there is a clear as day video of those 3 orbs circling around it in a triangle form, teleporting that fucking plane out of existence.
Yeah, so about that, me and you have talked about it before. I believe I've sent you the video of that
Perhaps.
full unedited thing where it does it in different things. Well, later on, someone came out and tried to say they debunked it, right? And there was a lot of evidence and push saying that they debunked it and shit. Well, I was informed of that by my buddy Cyber Steve, which you've met. He's been on the show before.
Mhm.
But I came across basically a debunking of the debunking shit. Like pretty much saying
Yeah, me
like,
too.
yeah, it's actually bullshit. Like they tried to say it was debunked and it was false. But the new shit that's out that just started surfacing now, where you've got whistleblowers, like legitimate whistleblowers coming out about it now. Like there's like 2 guys who came out talking about it, saying that like,
Yeah, so
no, it's not
yeah,
fake. Like that's 100%
yeah,
real.
there's
It's
hold on.
authentic footage.
There's this guy, Ashton Forbes, who, like, has dedicated the past 9 years of his life, um, debunking it and trying to figure out if it's fake or not, but he's like, "No, it's real. Everything about it's real." There's a video that they released that was recorded and found 4 days after the flight was considered missing. Like, it
Yep.
disappeared, and they had a recording of it from the satellites that Lockheed Martin was like, "Holy fuck, what do we do with this?" And then they released it to the public 4 days later, and then the government took it down, and then they just
Yeah.
re-released it recently.
Yeah, the only video in the original video thing that I had sent you that actually was fake was the from the viewpoint of like a drone. Apparently that footage it shows a lot of evidence for that being fake. But the satellite footage that
Yeah, the
is the
satellite
main
footage is
one.
fucking
The
crazy,
satellite
bro.
footage is they were like, yeah, that's not fake. Like everything about this video, they like had people like dig into it. It is not tampered with. It's not been rendered. It is 100% real. Like they cannot like they literally couldn't come up with anything to disprove it. Even with digging into the actual footage itself, like on a technical level, and they're like, "Oh shit! Like this is fucking real." Like, but the drone footage is not real, supposedly. There's a lot of evidence to suggest it might be faked on the drone footage, but the satellite footage, that's where the meat and potatoes is, because the satellite footage is the best footage fucking out there. It's amazing, and
Yeah.
it's the not and it had the numbers for the satellite.
Dude, it had the fucking GPS coordinates down to, like, the billionth of a decimal point. It
Yeah,
was
and it
I
lines
and it
up
was
exactly where the, Malaysia right it lines up and puts it right in the, like, vector area where the Malaysian airline, last communicated. Uh,
And the craziest thing about it to me is that whenever these people went missing, the families were still able to call the missing people's cell phones for 2 months after the fact. That they were still able to reach these people, and their cell phones would keep ringing. If they were to have crashed and gone underwater,
yeah, it would've
then
just gone
it
straight to voicemail or
yeah,
whatever.
or just
Someone touched on that. Someone actually touched on that point that you just brought up, and that whole thing with the phones. Apparently, like, they even dug into it to make sure that if a phone like, yeah, we already know, like, if a phone's turned off, like, the actual device, it won't ring. It'll just go to voicemail or ring
mhm.
twice and then go to voicemail. But the fact that, this person, like, what they did is they dug into it to find out to make sure, like, okay, if a device is off, or damaged or whatever, and it's no good, then you wouldn't be able to actually keep calling it. It would just go to voicemail. It would automatically default to voicemail. He went and
Yeah,
made sure that was how it worked, like fully, and 100%. That's exactly how it works. So the fact that you could call all these different people who had devices that supposedly were destroyed, ruined. There's no way they would have been good still. If they're in down the bottom of the goddamn ocean. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like no, I dude, there's a lot of weird shit. A lot of weird
Dude, the
stuff about it.
one of these family members called it on live television, and they were like and, like, it rang, like, 15 times and went to voicemail, but they're like, "Obviously, the phone is still intact somewhere. Where the fuck are these people?" And on the plane were, like, 20 executives from Motorola and these other Malaysian and Chinese companies
And
who
you're missing one key person, two key
right?
people who were on it.
Who's that?
They were people who worked on UFO programs.
Yes, and then there's like 100 AIDS and other disease researchers on there as well. I don't know. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
was a whole bunch of shit. It was wild.
Yeah. But
It's being resurfaced because people are now suing the government and the airline for
mhm.
covering it up.
Mhm. But I know I brought up UFOs. I didn't mean to tangent us into this. But that's why we see UFOs in this simulation theory, because that's actually the IT department coming in and fixing things, modifying things. We don't know what they're modifying, but they're fucking with stuff. They're
Yeah,
messing with things, especially. And then there's I even have a theory of, like, how we see them coming in and out of the ocean all the fucking time, right? Um, like, pretty predominantly, they're always coming from a massive water source at the
yes
heart
they
of it,
are.
and they're going submersing, like they're going down into the water. I think that our like basically our operating system, right? So you have the CPU that's going, which is the sun.
Is it water cooled by the ocean?
You're good. You're getting it, bro. Um, but yeah, so no, like, yeah, like our like think about it like this. Think about it like this. Think about the world itself is basically the like operating system, right? So you have the CPU, which is the sun, the allocated core, and then you have the lightweight OS that's running. Well, that's our world, and then everything's that at the center of Earth, like our core, is the operating system for our virtual machine that's going.
That's crazy. That's
And they're
crazy.
going down there and like doing updates, patches, you say it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole water concept, I did have that concept. That's why I gave you kudos for the water in the world being part of the cooling system, but it's not. That doesn't make any sense. This is a virtual machine, my guy. like, like we're inside of it. We're not in the physical machine. Um, but yeah, so that there was that. But um, I have another couple things. I just have just a few more, and then we can completely drop this topic. I think this would make a really good TV show, like a series.
It would be a very fun little TV show, like or like a fake documentary, like a mockumentary style Office.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great. We should make that. We should make that. And then yeah, we should make that. But so the next one after the whole black hole servers concept and the sun uh being the allocated core, that's the processor for our fucking virtual and for our solar system. Um the next was mind control code. And I wrote, there are rumors of a secret project within the department to develop a universal programming language that can influence thoughts and actions across different realities, effectively controlling inhabitants of every single universe within the multiverse.
Whoa. Okay, so this is in relation to the EEG cap, right? To where they have to wear this sleep cap to go to bed. And once they're in their bed sleeping, they then begin to code and work and do things, right? That's what you're referring to?
Wait, repeat that last part? The very last part.
That's what you're referring to?
No, 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 no. Like, just back it up, like at least a sentence or two before then.
So I mean, it's whenever they go to sleep, they're able to start hacking and programming and working.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So they released a study back in 2018 that there are individuals. They did tests on 21 females with the average age of 25, and they range from 19 to 37 years old on a 6.5 hour sleep cycle to determine if they were able to do things in their dream. So they put on this like bald cap with like EEG readers and sensors all over it to like send waves into their brain. And then they were able to manipulate their thoughts while they were sleeping to make them work. So think Matrix whenever they're all in the sleep pods using the
Mm,
fucking electricity from them, but it's more localized in the sense of you're never gonna fucking stop working, bitch. You go
yeah,
home, you're putting that cap on, you're working in your sleep.
yeah, yeah. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, I
I
sent
like
you
that.
I sent you a video of it. It is very real. It is
Yeah.
very, very,
Well,
very real.
I know that stuff like that's real. I know for a fact. I know. I've come across things like that. Um the next one. I'm just gonna read these so we can be done with the multiverse thing
Okay.
because it's fascinating. But so the next one is I wrote it down as the Phantom Universe. So
Mm.
conspiracy theorists speculate about a phantom universe that exists outside the known multiverse. The universe allegedly contains the ultimate control panel for all realities, and the IT department is on a secret mission to find and access it. And they don't know where it is, but they know that there's a back door in it, or back door to it, apparently somewhere. Like there's always apparently, or sorry, I wrote it. I didn't write it down, but my thought was, for the concept was every universe in this multiverse has a back door that would lead to it, but they don't know if it actually exists. Hence why, and this is where I bring UFOs in again. The reason why we see UFOs here is because which is the IT department in all reality, right? They are looking for that back door. One other concept for why we see UFOs in our simulated reality.
So would the Phantom Universe end up being the like enemies, the hackers who are
No,
trying to sneak in and get the data?
it's the original it's the true real universe that first existed in all creation of reality that the lost admin existed in.
Hmm.
That was my concept for it. That's where supposedly lost admin is. He went back to the main control hub, that which is the true main control hub that people didn't know was real, and it's a
That's
conspiracy
cool.
within the multiversal IT department. Um,
So who are the IT department of this quantum realm? Who are they protecting? Who are they like fighting against?
I
Because
don't think they're fighting against
usually
anybody.
usually when you're in IT, you're stopping hackers and cyber attacks, right?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gone that far with this idea. I just wrote down some cool concept ideas, and that was about as far as I went.
Would it be
That's
like
not
the
true. That's not
rogue?
true. Um, that's not true. Um, so I did. Sorry, I forgot. I wrote it. I had to scroll down my list. It's way down low. Um, I did write it. I never finished it, but I put AI overlords. I didn't know if I wanted to bring it
Yeah.
into this or not. As like a real
Yeah.
concept. But the only note I put on there is that some believe the IT department itself is controlled by advanced AI, from a highly evolved universe, and yeah, that's it. That yeah, and
Fucking right, dude. I mean,
yeah,
it's like it would be like
and they conduct
the
experiments. They conduct experiments on less advanced worlds. Hence, we're an
the
i3 processor, bro. They do
the
experiments on us.
our sun needs to be updated because the AI ancient artifacts are too powerful and too strong to defend against.
Yeah.
So they're
Now,
putting all their processing power against them instead.
yeah. So after the whole Phantom Universe one, there was I wrote down the reality backup. So basically, I'll just read what I wrote. Fuck it. There's a theory that the department maintains a complete backup of the multiverse, and in case of a catastrophic event, they can reset reality to a previous state, though at the cost of massive data memory loss for its inhabitants.
It's the
Hence why,
universe snapshot.
yeah, hence why we have everyone remember like how the past keeps randomly changing, how we had the whole Mandela effect of something that did exist but it didn't, because we've
Mm,
already had a reset. We've already had a backup set, and we've had massive data memory loss already happened, but not everyone fully it didn't get fully purged. The only people the only people who get these somewhat memories that remember are people who are not NPCs. NPCs are fully reset. They don't know anything about, like, they believe the Mandela effect is bullshit, all that stuff, which is a lot of people out there that believe the Mandela effect is bullshit, right? So it's
Yeah, yeah.
like they're the NPCs because they're part of the actual system. They're not real functioning free thinking individuals that are in the simulation. They're just
So
NPCs.
do you think the snapshot would only affect the long-term PCs that are in effect on the world, and then whenever they come into reality as a newborn baby or in like a young kid, that snapshot is now their reality? So it's trying to affect the old brains or the old computer technology and not the new technology.
Yeah, I didn't think that far ahead on that one. But I like where you're going with it. I like where you're going with it. So there's that one, and the last one I want, the last one I wrote was, you're gonna make fun of me for this one.
Probably.
Interdimensional espionage. Uh, the IT department is suspected of conducting surveillance across universes, gathering data on different civilizations under the guise of maintaining multiversal security.
I think that's pretty fucking badass, actually. I'm not gonna make fun of you at all.
I was
That's
talking about the name of it. The name of it.
eh,
Interdimensional espionage, bro.
what is that? IDD or IDE?
What would I? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, shit, we got a possible IDE. Like, fuck, fuck. Yeah,
The
yeah. That's pretty good.
interdimensional espionage is a very funny statement regarding like a James Bond IT interdimensional guy. He's like, we got to get in there and get their data. We got to get in there.
Yeah, I even, I'm not gonna lie. I even, like, I have other notes written, but with like I did not involve these just because it really takes away. It makes it more of a joke.
Okay, you can't just fucking tease us. You got to hit us with the just rapid
Okay,
fire them. Rapid fire.
the quantum bug, the AI uprising, the magic malware, the time loop glitch, the interdimensional hackathon, the lost signal. Yeah, yeah. So the magic malware. The reason I even wrote that was because I was like thinking, like, what if someone had to solve like a magical malware issue in a universe where technology and sorcery interact?
It's like the Doctor Strange of hackers.
Yeah, yeah. It's like taking Doctor Strange concept, but with tech at the same time.
Fun, dude. That's fun.
It's like watching Fire and Ice. It may I thought I was thinking of Fire. You ever watch Fire and Ice, the
Of
animated
course.
film? It made me I was thinking, like, that's where the inspiration came from, because in Fire and Ice, you got that magical evil motherfucker that also, yeah, you know what I mean? So, boom. There you go.
What got me the most in that situation, Ben, is the hackathon. The hackathon absolutely fucking cracked me up.
Well, yeah, but it was more like, my mindset for that was more of like a competition for who can secure the most vulnerable system, right? Not like, hey, like, who can break in. It was more of who can, like, we'll have people attack it, but who can, like, attack a very vulnerable system that's most vulnerable out there, and who can protect that most vulnerable system. Who's that good?
What would be the hiring process for the interdimensional sort of experience? The IT department.
Well, I can say right now that one of the main mandatory prerequisites is you can't ever have existed in the simulation. So I got no fucking idea because we exist in it, and I have no idea if this is real.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, so that
That's
yeah,
pretty much it.
it's pretty bad. I don't know.
No, it's not. No, it's not bad. That was very fun. I enjoyed that dearly.
I even wrote a note. Do they have technological ethics? Question mark.
Huh. I mean, you would have to, right? Especially if you have that power,
Well,
because
yeah, yeah. It made me
mm,
think.
I
This is, my brain went to like Star Wars, right?
good lord, I have got to piss
Or not
so
Star Wars,
bad.
Star Trek.
Hey, can we take a traditional Evan P break?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go pee. Fine. I will. I will wait to read this until you get back. I
Okay,
will
yeah, yeah,
talk
yeah.
about other things. You go pee. Go, go. Ooh, we got him going off camera, folks. But yes, in this multiversal IT department, inside of this, we're all fucked because we're trapped in it. There's no way out. None. Do you hear me? There's no way out of it. There's none whatsoever. So, what would you do? Ask yourself, what would you do if this was real and we were inside of something of that structure? I mean, what could you do? I mean, kind of nothing. You would just still live your life day to day. I mean, even if you were to find out it's real, I mean, it really wouldn't change anything. You'd just be, you were there. You would exist in this this type of environment. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you have any ideas, shoot us an email at smartlyuneducated@gmail.com or comment on the video on Spotify and let us know. Just type your question, just your idea right there. Just type in whatever the fuck it is. You know, like how I will say this though, I'd be really bummed out if I found out that we did and I found out my dog Oliver was completely fake. I'd be upset about that. And then some of you know I have children, so it'd be like, well, what about your kids? I'd be like, well, I'd like to think that they're not NPCs, you know, like they're not fabricated things. It's more of they are like somewhere out there outside of the simulation, they are real individuals that are somehow tethered to me. That would be, I would hope for that. Uh, you know, but I will say this though, fucking, there's no way I got the wife I got looking like I do, unless this is a simulation. So, you know, because she's way too good looking for me. So, I more than likely she might be a fabrication inside this simulation. She or something. That's entirely possible. Which bothers me, but at the same time, I'm still having a very good time. Giggity. But no, in all reality, that would kind of suck. Anywho, I'm waiting for Evan to come back. I figured I'd talk, but I'm regretting this decision very heavily because he is taking his sweet ass time, you know, kicking the tires, if you get what I'm saying. And when I say kicking the tires, that's a trucking term. For oh, bitch is back. There he is. I don't even know. I don't wonder if he could
I'm
hear me this
back,
whole
baby.
time.
I'm back.
Did you hear me this whole time?
I did. I absolutely did. Your dog and your kids are goddamn fucking piece of the system, dude. They're fake,
Oh
just
fuck.
like you.
Did you like what I said about my wife?
Yeah, dude.
But I'm still having a very good time. Yeah.
That shit was so funny. I'm upstairs. I had to go upstairs to go pee because it's daylight out here and I have some neighbors. Um, and I walk in and you're talking about your fake wife and how you still like her a little bit. And
Whoa, I didn't say I like her a little bit. I said that's not what I said. I said that like that would suck, but I'm still having a good time because you know
That's
exploited
gross.
deleted
Anyway,
actions.
I'm walking past my partner, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Are you done down there?" I'm like, "No, I'm still listening to Ben rant about fucking nonsense." I loved it so much. I wish that you were able to hear my end because my dog was screaming at me the whole time.
I am very
But
happy
anyway,
that I could not hear your dog screaming on your end. It would ruin the magic. Ruin the
my little
magic.
husky doesn't know when to stop talking. She is just blabber, 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 blabber all the time.
Yeah, art. See, it's weird because, like, so Oliver, he doesn't do that. I mean, he does. When he's in the kennel, he will talk. He'll sit there, he'll groan at you. You walk by and he sees you and he knows he has to be in the kennel. He'll just go, mm, mm. And I'd be like, what, dude? I was like, it's bedtime. I don't know what you want from me. He doesn't bark, though. He'll just go, and he'll grunt
Hmm.
harder. And then he'll like turn his head sideways and look at you from the side. He'll literally turn his
Yeah,
eyes this way, like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. You put me in here. I don't want to go to bed yet. But
giving him the side eye.
yeah, he gives me that fucking side eye. And then, like, what was it? The only time he barks when he's in the kennel, is one if someone's at the house, like someone's at the door. Because he's the first one to bark, dude. Oliver is very fucking protective of this house.
He's a big boy too.
Yeah, he and the fact that we found out that he's half Australian, like, or we thought he was when we got him, we thought he was a purebred Australian Shepherd because he truly looked like one. But as he got older, we learned that's not true. He is. We found out that he is half Great Pyrenees. He's
He's
Pyrenees.
huge.
But the thing is, he got the good genetics to where he's a good-looking dog. Because I've seen some mixtures where they're ugly as fuck. Like, oh my
I
god,
think we've talked about it before, but yeah, they can be really ugly pretty fast.
really fucking fast. But Oliver is very protective of the house, and I don't know a whole lot about Great Pyrenees dogs. In all reality, I've never had one. I've seen them, but I don't know shit about them. But I also found out that they're herding dogs as well,
You say they
and
are farm dogs, right?
which explains why Oliver is the way he is. Not only is Australian Shepherd's a shepherd dog, right? And they herd and they do all that stuff, but then you got the Great Pyrenees in him too. And it's half and half, bro. It's like doubled down, and yeah, it's really weird. He also when he's in the house walking around, when we're upstairs or anything, he'll follow you, and when you're on the stairs, he'll stand next to you on the fucking stairs. And it's like, bitch, this is a staircase. There ain't enough room for both of us walking on top of each other here. And I'll be like, go down the stairs, because I'm trying to go down the stairs, and I'm like, go
Yeah.
down. He won't. He'll grunt at you. He'll sit on the stair where he's got his paws on the stairs down below. So he's like sitting, leaning forward, and he'll go, and I'll be like, fine, I'll go first. And I'll start walking, and then he'll stay on my fucking heels the entire fucking time. Now, if there's more than one person, like let's say it's me and like my kids are like, or me and my wife, whoever. If there's more than one person on the staircase going down, he'll go and move to the very back behind us, and he won't go down the stairs until everyone's down the stairs. He like herds you down the stairs.
Yes, he does. He pushes you down the stairs.
Yep, and then he does it when you go up the stairs too. He makes sure he's in the back, and he ushers you wherever you go. It's
I love
really
that.
Oh, no, it's great. Like, I think it's really good because when the kids play with him outside, dude, like especially when Evie goes out there, he literally, like, if he sees Evie try to start to walk around the side of the house where she's not in the main backyard, and she walks on the side like towards the gate, he bolts it over to her, and then he barks at her. Like,
Oh,
going like,
really?
yeah, he's like, "Where are you going? Like, what do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to be over here. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's a gate. That goes outside. That goes away from our home. What are you doing?" And if she like walks over to the gate itself, he'll start barking, and then he runs up and gets in front of her, like literally in between her and the gate. And like uses his body, he turns his body sideways, like kind of makes like a U shape with his body, and and puts her in the center of the U shape, her body.
No
And like, oh
way.
no, no joke. He does it anytime you walk on the side of the house going towards the gate. He
What a
like
good dog.
yeah, he it's all instinctual. We didn't even teach him that.
Mhm.
And he's done it to me. He's herded me in the backyard when I had the gate. I forgot to close the gate after I did yard work. And I was like, oh shit. I let Oliver out back and the gate's open. So I ran out there and I looked and checked the side of the house. I saw the gate stand wide. I was like, I don't see him anywhere in the backyard. And I'm like, fuck. Because this was like months ago when he was definitely more in the puppy, uh, his puppy prime.
Yeah.
And so I ran out the gate and I'm yelling Oliver. And now I'm in the middle of my front yard, basically by the street. And all of a sudden I hear a loud ass bark. And it was from behind me. And I turn around and he's sitting in the entry of the gate.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, where did you come from? And he wasn't in the backyard. Where he actually was is he actually had gone out the gate, but he was standing to the just outside the gate, but to the left where the door swings open to. And he was standing there like standing guard. And
Wow.
he was like, since the gate was open, he was like, that's not supposed to be like that. Like he just instinctually knew, like, hey, I'm gonna stand guard at this gate because this isn't supposed to be open. And he just stayed there, sat down. And the moment I crossed through it, I just passed him on my left and didn't realize it. And yeah, and then he barked at me and I was like, what are you doing? And then he ran over to me and he literally, no joke, no joke. My kiddos witnessed this. He literally started nipping at my jeans, trying to pull me towards the backyard. Like he was literally
That's
pulling me.
crazy. What the
Yeah, dude.
fuck?
Yeah, did it instinctually. I've never taught him that. He just has done it. It's really weird, but awesome
What a
all at
good
the same
dog.
time.
What a good dog.
He's a wonderful dog, dude. Wonderful. Um anyways, so there's that.
Just got sidetracked by the dog talk. That happens all the time.
Yeah, I dig the whole concept of the multiversal IT department. I think we should make a show. I think we should make a copyright bitches. We already copyrighted. You can't take it
Yeah,
from us.
TM.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, we openly gave all this detail, so if someone were to go and take it and utilize it the way we described, we could sue their ass. Could we?
Right, dude. Yeah,
Could we?
probably.
I feel
I
like
mean,
we could.
it depends on when they copyrighted it. If they did it a day before us or whatever, then it would it would matter at that point.
Fair. Fair. I feel like, yeah, fair. Anyways, so with all that being said, let's get on to the next subject. The next one. Do you know what that is, Evan?
Cyber Polygon, right?
Cyber Polygon forces initiate form of random obscure geometric object.
I've been looking at these like hacking devices that you can buy on the internet for just $100 or so that are pre-made to steal anybody's information if you just plug it into their devices. It blows my fucking mind how easy they are to obtain and how easy they are to use.
Yeah.
Like the OMG cable, the 0.MG cable, that it looks exactly like a lightning charger iPhone cable.
Hmm.
Identical. Would not be able to tell them apart. But if you use it and plug it into your phone, it takes all your photos, all your data, all your passwords, everything you ever texted, called on it, and it sends it to someone else's device. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
So this whole Cyber Polygon, Operation Cyber Polygon, I believe it started in 2021, with its focus on simulating a cyber pandemic. Presented several intriguing and significant elements that can be considered, pretty insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
Um, yeah,
they tested it back in 2021, right? And they said that it has implication to be stronger than any virus that has ever plagued humanity,
yeah,
and there's about a 2 to 3 year time span to when it will happen. Not that it might happen, but will happen.
yeah, 100%. And so, let's talk about like the global scale and participation of this. So, the event brought together 200 organizations from 48 countries, creating a massive global stage for cyber threat simulation and training. And it also had like, they have like high profile speakers, at this event, and it featured a lineup of like people like including Steve Wozniak, who is the co-founder of Apple, Jurgen Stock, Secretary General of Interpol, and over 7 million viewers from 78 countries tuned in for the online conference sessions. It's pretty big, dude. Like that's
Yeah.
a big fucking thing. Um, there's a so direct line to space. So I'm just gonna read through a couple of just big kind of crazy facts about this, right? Before we like peel anything back. So direct line to space. So a unique feature of the Cyber Polygon 2021 was the organization of a direct line with astronauts aboard the International Space Station discussing the protection of vulnerable data in space through encryption.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't that's some wild shit? Like, how do
I
they?
wonder why were they talking about it on the space station?
Well,
That right
because
there is
they're
like a huge
sending.
red flag.
Well, cause think about it. They're sending very vital information to the ISS. Like very vital information for them. What if someone were to hack into them if they didn't weren't like what kind of like they obviously have to be using crazy levels of encryption to make sure that people can't intercept that data and then manipulate the data and like potentially cause them to die if they get the wrong shit sent to them. Like what if they got sent trajectory vectors, right? Coordinates for reentry or what the fuck ever, for different crafts, stuff like that. Um, People could fuck with that, and that's whoa. You know what I mean? That you would kill people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can see that. Now, granted, I don't know of every type of data that they send up there or what information they got to be sending to ISS, but I'm sure that it's vital as fuck and they don't want people fucking with it or manipulating it or have the ability to. So I feel like that's a pretty interesting, like that's a good thing they did that, like rope them into this conversation. But yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking wild. Um, and then, yeah, and then here's another highlight for a crazy thing. There's a focus on digital currencies. So the event had a special session dedicated to the resilience of the financial system as digital currencies become more prevalent. The included discussions with executives from MasterCard and Visa, highlighting the growing importance and risks associated with digital financial technologies. Pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool.
So what I have just in the brief interim of today and this morning have found out about what they have been doing to counteract a cyber polygon attack. It started back in 2006, and they've been doing it. It looks like every 2 to 4 years they are ramping up and reevaluating the need for cyber security around the globe. It's referred to as a CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Uh, they have one slated to be released spring of 2024. It's the Cyberstorm 9 is what they're referring to it as. So they have this would be the ninth iteration of a cyberstorm protection, uh, which I think is fucking fascinating that you brought this up, the Cyber Polygon, and they have already been planning for it for the past 20 years almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's a really fascinating and insane topic. Like the whole thing is pretty bonkers. But when I say bonkers, I'm not saying like ridiculous. It's just it's intense. Like it's some crazy shit going on. And the fact that they put all I just find it all really phenomenal. Um yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah,
to
so no, you're good. This is we're having a conversation here, buddy. It's a podcast.
podcast.
Whoa, well, when that's what you call a podcast, brother.
Hell yeah, dude.
So Cyberstorm 9, the goals of it, they have four lined out here. The first one is exercise and evaluate cybersecurity response, operational collaboration and support, which is I said that really fast, but that is a basic overline. Like, hey, how fast can we react to a huge, like, cyber polygon attack? And then examine the clarify roles and responsibilities, and then assess information and review and evaluate, which is pretty standard, I would imagine, for any sort of cybersecurity based practice attack.
Yeah. And so another crazy thing fact about this. So there's a whole and you'll get a kick out of this, Evan. So there's a whole thing about ransomware and cryptocurrencies that they talked about and they had heavy discussions about. So a key discussion point was how the popularity of cryptocurrencies had led to the spread of ransomware, emphasizing the need to integrate cryptocurrencies into the broader international financial structure to reduce safe havens for cybercriminals.
Oh,
Damn.
100%.
Yep.
100%. So it's a known thing that people who are buying like random ass crypto coin from some schmuck who's like, yeah, this is the next big thing, just puts a bunch of ransom and malware in it that you didn't get, and your computer is now fucking
Well,
ruined.
there's
And
also another route with that within that with cryptocurrencies, and that has to do with these crypto wallets. So there's a lot of you can Google, look it up online. There's tons of different there's a bunch of different types of wallets out there that you can get. Like there's a bunch of wallets, right? And now there's main ones that people know are secure, like they're known to be secure. But there's a lot of fucking digital wallets out there that are not secure at all. And a lot of them are some of them are bullshit. Some of them are intentionally made to backdoor shit. Like to so you get it, you upload your stuff to it, and now they have full access and it's they have like ransomware built into it like they have running in the background that they can submit in through and then take over your shit, and then be like, basically be like, hey, you have to pay us this money in order to get your shit back, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing. You just look it up. It's a very real fucking thing that happens.
So, but yeah, it's a pretty standard practice thing that happens in the crypto world. But going back to the Polygon attacks, the
Mhm.
the implications of a cyber attack on our society as it is would be absolutely devastating if they were to be able to put a virus in one person's device and how quick it would like multiply across everything. It would be a 2x doubled effect every single time it hop onto somebody else's device, which would be a horrible outcome.
Well, speaking from experience of fucking with malware and horrible, uh, nasty viruses, um, in my own personal, enclosed and safe environment, right? I created VMs and stuff. With some of the nasty payloads I've tampered with and played with, and just to see what level and how fast, like how fast it would happen and what level of destruction would happen from, you know, unleashing these things inside one of my VMs, right? To just see, I made a victim machine, right? And I basically ran like unloaded a horrible payload in it just to see how fast it would destroy it. And there are some payloads I've released inside these uh victim machines inside these VMs that I've created that literally like one of them was less than like once it was delivered and running, dude, like less than 2 minutes. The whole fucking thing. Like not only did it take all information, like every piece of information, hidden data, even encrypted data, like encrypted files, things like that. It took all of it, made like basically like a capture of it, like a snapshot, and then destroyed the OS. Like it destroyed that machine. So it took all the data that it had and then nuked the environment. And that was what it was supposed to do, but I just didn't know how fast it would happen. I was
So
curious to just see it play out.
imagine that happening on our informational grid that our world runs on. If it was able to break into the Pentagon's, let's say, system and implant itself in there, it would then take all the information and then destroy it so that somebody else now has it.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things about that, so you can get ransomware in many, 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 many different ways. But one very common way is through a method called phishing. And
Oh
phishing is
yeah.
at such an all-time high right now. It's ridiculous. In fact, I myself, just since the simulation, right? Since I run tests to see how these things really play out, for like refining skills, blah blah blah. So in one of my VMs, I wanted to see like, okay, if I were to like, how successful would I be able to get a phishing email through when I have email scrutiny out the ass going on the other side, right? And when I say email scrutiny, that's basically heavy filtering on emails, um, to where it tries to stop falsified, fabricated bullshit emails from coming through that have like either from a domain that was just created, or it's not 100% verified, like maybe it's piggybacking off some other domain, and you're like, okay, this scrutiny is what it's supposed to do. These filters are supposed to identify that and then not allow it through, like capture it and put it inside of a box for you to review it as a cybersecurity professional, right? So as I was doing these things, a lot of the scrutiny did catch some things. But dude, there's a lot of fucking like the way there are people who know how to do really amazing things. And I say amazing, they're nasty things, but they're amazing all at the same time. They're able to do such amazing, like crazy shit where they can actually get a phishing email. They can make it look very similar, and that's more for the user interface, right? To make it look so like, let's say it's from Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or some bank you have or whatever. right? Just as an example. They can make it look extremely real for the user who's looking at the email. But the real talent is getting it through these filter barriers and these firewalls and these the email scrutiny setups that people set up, right? And seeing that be able to get through, because there's certain ones like on my setups, my VMs that I've played with, where I've managed to get a few different phishing emails through to the victim machine, right? And now I'm seeing both emails at the same time. Like I'm seeing both screens for both machines or VMs at the same time. So it's like when they come through and I see it can get through, I'm like, how the fuck did that get through? And then I go and I look and see what it had done. And dude, some of the way that these payloads are created are fucking amazing. Like full on amazing. And one of the key things I wanted to drop on was the fact that the uh uh half the time that people get in and get access and then they submit this nasty stuff. So what they'll do to get around like certain aspects of like phishing emails, um where like if you have email scrutiny super high, where it's like, oh, you have this random link attachment in here, oh, you have this random other attachment like a file attachment in here, like what is this, and the email scrutiny will stop it. But what they'll do is they'll piggyback and they'll put, instead of having like a link or a file attached to it, they'll actually have encoded within the email itself. It's writing on the the data information highway with the email, just not in a visible structure where you can see it on a user interface. It's on data, on code that's transferring. They'll have a reverse shell like attached to it. So just opening the email itself allows that reverse shell that they sent over that they wanted to have in place. It allows it, now it's active. It starts communicating. And what it does is it communicates out to the attacker and allows you in. So it's basically utilizing your computer. So like you have like all these structures, these security things in place. And if someone were to try to send a reverse shell over through without doing those other things I was talking about, like the sneaky way, well, and establish that communication with your machine. Well, a lot of like things like Windows Defender, antivirus, all these things like that, these things you would have in place, literally catch it without it, but super fast. And they're like, bitch, what are you talking about? We're not accepting some communication coming from the outside. But when they send a reverse shell over what I just described, and you open that email, and all you have to do is open the email. You don't even have to click on anything inside the email. You just open it. That reverse shell is now inside your machine. And then from within your machine, it communicates out, which then bypasses a lot of defenses from your machine. And it communicates straight to the attacker. And the attacker goes, cool, it's wanting to communicate with me. I accept this connection. Now that I have a connection going and I have a reverse shell, I have a window in this machine. Now let's inject some shit. Let's fuck with some stuff. Now I can manipulate their environment. I can get in there and I can do some shit. It's some wild stuff that they are capable of doing. Now the reverse shells are nothing new. That is something that's been around a minute.
So
It's the method of what they're doing.
what you're telling me is I need to stop clicking the emails that say there's local hot babes in my area.
Ye- Yes. No, no, keep clicking those, bro. Those are 100% safe. Especially when it says there's a cougar in your area that has been eyeing you and is wanting to reach out to you, especially when it says that they're trying to find you,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
personally.
I'm a very attractable, young man
Mhm.
who cougars love and single hot ladies love. So they're
Mhm.
emailing me all the time. I get it.
Email me all the time.
I don't know how they got my email, but I'm happy they got it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
also, like, I get phishing emails and stuff like that all the time. Like the classic, your package has been stuck somewhere at USPS or UPS. Click this link to retrieve the data for your missing package. Don't ever fucking click that shit. That's so fake.
Don't ever click that shit. It's so fake. It's so fake. Yeah. So the next one, sorry, I didn't mean to go on that tangent about phishing emails and reverse shells and stuff, but since we're talking about this, this is it just naturally came up. Which by the way, I didn't say all the different ways that a reverse shell could get established. I was pinpointing on one particular thing. So,
On a side
anyways,
note, I hope our audio and listeners are loving our new silky sounds and our new microphones. Hey, baby.
yeah, you sound very good, my guy. It was all made possible by an anonymous donor of
Thank you so much, anonymous
sperm.
donor.
Of sperm. It was dry. They sent it in an envelope, and they didn't even put it in a
Yeah,
tube.
a
It's all
little
dry and sticky.
housekeeping. If you want to send us an email, we might read it on the podcast and leave a review. That is always helping. A 5-star review. If you leave a comment, we'll probably read it on the podcast. So say something mean, say something nice, whatever the fuck you want to say. We'll probably read it.
Yeah. So the next one. So another key thing in this, over the scope of this, is child protection in cyberspace. So the final session addressed the vital issue of cyberbullying, cyberbullying, and the protection of children in digital world. I think cyberbullying's a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
me
get
too.
on fucking social media. Like, dude, there's a whole fucking world out there. Just stop having your like. Why are you letting a little kid on a fucking Facebook or Snapchat? Like, and plus, those are fucking cesspools, anyways. They're gonna
Yeah, well,
fucking
I mean,
brainwash your kid with a bunch of fucking nonsense, and your kid's gonna
yeah,
get raised by some cunt who lives in their dad's basement, or it's gonna be raised by some person who's gender confused, who's telling your kid that they are not what they think they are, but what they think they are. And even though the kid maybe not even be confused or anything, and it, does like girls or does like guys, but then you got someone fucking with them and saying, hide shit from your parents, keep secrets, come over and be only share things with me. Like, it's disgusting. It's fucked up. Anyways, but
man,
yeah,
that is something hit close to home with you there, bud. Um,
it's because I
I
have
do
kids. It's because I have kids.
I do agree with you. Probably shouldn't let them be on the internet getting cyberbullied. If they're getting cyberbullied, let them go outside and get bullied in real life. That's way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send them back to the local malls where they get bullied in person.
Listen,
Now we're talking real life.
parents need to understand to have the conversation with their kid and tell their kid, listen, the people who are bullying you online are the little fucking cunts and dweebs at school that are the pussies who won't do it in person because they know they'll get their fucking face kicked in. So why don't we start teaching people? You just clap at me?
I did.
Bro, I just totally fucking heard that shit. Thank you. Thank you. Can I get it again, please? Can I get it again, please? Come on. Fuck. What the? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You just you quack at me. Anyways, you bitch. So, fuck. Now I lost train of thought. No, the thing is that with uh those, like, what they
Like,
need to do is teach parents. The parents need to learn how to find out, because there's a lot of online tools out there now that are open source that you don't have to pay for. Just do a little research, teach yourself a couple of these tools, because you can go and you can look up, you can figure out exactly who, Skank Hunt 2085 is, and find out where they actually like live. It's probably a kid's friend, right? And then
oh,
just go
Christ.
just pull a Jay and Silent Bob on them. You look all these people up, you find out where they are, you fly to all their locations, knock on the door, and then when that little fucking pussy opens the door, you beat the shit out of them and be like, "Listen, we know what you did, bitch." You don't say anything until after the fact. You beat the fuck out of them first, like to a bloody fucking pulp. Or better yet, if it's a little kid, right? It's some like 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, whatever. And you're the parent and you're the one who goes out there. Well, obviously you can't just smack a kid because then you'll go to jail. You got to ask for their dad or their mom, whatever. Just bring their parents' door. Then you beat the fuck out of their parents in front of the kid. And then you grab the kid by the back of their fucking head and you say, every time this happens, your dad and your mom are going to get their fucking faces kicked in. And guess who they're going to beat the fuck out of for causing this? You. I will fucking peel the flesh off your parents' face in front of you if you do this again. Blah, 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 blah. Was that a little too
Holy fuck,
much?
that's a little too much. I
I was dude, this is all theoretical, okay? Like, I'm not
It
being
might not
serious.
it might not be enough. I don't think you would have got the fucking message through after you beat the little kid up and then beat the parents up. I don't think that you've got the message through all the way.
Oh, so
You say something along the lines of, "You bullied my kid on Twitter by calling him dumb and ugly. I'm burning your fucking house down, bitch." Like, you gotta go full bore. You gotta ruin their entire
alright,
life.
fine, fine. I'll ruin their life. This is what we'll do. Theoretically, not saying we actually would,
Yeah, in a
but
video game, in a video
in
game.
a video game, we would, instead of just once we get there and just confronting them immediately, we do some reconnaissance. We watch and wait. We find out what they love most. It's probably their dog Skittles, right?
Mm.
Then we take Skittles and we like basically dissect Skittles in front of them and force them to watch and put its head on a pike and be like, "This is gonna happen to you next."
Yeah, yeah, it's a simple thing that everybody does whenever any sort of inconvenience happens. Like, the kid spilt salt on the table, now your son or daughter doesn't have salt anymore. You steal their dog, you skin the dog alive, and you put it on a pike, like a cross, and you hang it in their front yard and light it on fire. That's just what you do in a video game, at least. That's just what you do.
Yeah, in a video game. Yeah, yeah. Dude, I play that video game all the time. It's such a fun video game. Um, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, just
if
tell your
you're
kid to not be a fucking pussy. How about that? Just
yeah,
tell your
if you're
kid to
getting
not be a fucking pussy. Don't give a like if they're getting bullied. Oh, they're saying mean things about me on Facebook. Who gives a shit? It's fucking Facebook. It's nothing. Just don't fucking do like stop being a pussy. It's just
yeah,
fucking words.
if
Get
you're
move
if you're
on.
if you're if you're if your child or you and yourself are being bullied on the internet, Twitter, Facebook, you fucking name it, take your device and frisbee it into the ocean or the nearest body of water. Just fucking get rid of it. If it is making that big of an impact on your life, get rid of it. This is a simple concept. You can't live
Yeah.
without it. Get off the fucking
Go to
website.
therapy. You
Yeah, go to
can't.
therapy. Bully me in the comments below. I fully and freely want you to roast my ass in the comments. I want to
Yeah.
see if anybody can do the worst.
I got roasted many times back on the old platform.
I
Many
roasted you not too
times.
long ago. You look like that guy from Street Fighter, so
Hell yeah.
strong.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I almost changed my profile picture on Discord to be what is his name again? Uh
Oh my god,
the
Zelile or
Russian
some shit like that?
Miguel
No, that's not
or
it's not Guile.
no. It's the dude, the Russian guy. The Russian dude. Um
His name is Zangief.
Zangief. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, Sandgeef. Yeah, I almost changed my profile picture to him doing
You should
going
have.
like
You
that.
should have.
Yeah.
Definitely should have.
Yeah, I almost did. Okay, okay, yeah. Let me read through. We need to read through the last two fun facts. The next one is supply chain attack simulation. So the technical training segment of the event focused on a fictional cyber attack targeting supply chains. The simulation was designed to mimic the speed and impact of a cyber pandemic, reflecting the increasing threat to global supply chains in the digital age.
Hmm.
Interesting, right?
I mean, we saw that at firsthand during the COVID pandemic, right? When the supply chain pretty much went to a complete fucking halt. Do you remember when that boat got stuck sideways in that canal and that caused multi billions of dollars to be lost and put on hold?
Yeah, but that's not digital though. That's just like literal, physical.
Yeah, I know. So that's the idea, right? So we saw it happen with the supply chain in our physical reality. And if that is as bad as it was and still fucking is really bad, I couldn't imagine what it would be like in a cyber realm where everything is in a millisecond time frame and fast, 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 where in seconds and in milliseconds, entire supplies of inventory are deleted and your bank account is wiped and your credit is put to 0. Like, I couldn't even fucking fathom that. That would be devastating.
Well, yeah, especially since we're stuck on that digital structure. Like everyone's interwoven into our lives, like, and you demolish that, we're fucked.
Imagine if they got into the banking systems and just wiped all of the money from all of the banks and just deleted all of the inventory and backup data.
You know how happy that
Ev
would make the banks? You know how happy that would make the banks? No, they'd have a clean slate, dude. They would have a
Yeah.
clean slate. Fuck them.
What if they got into, like, the FDIC, the fucking Jekyll Hyde monster, and just deleted all of their data ever? That
Yay!
would that yeah, would that lower the interest rates? Actually, somebody please do that. Somebody
Yeah.
go in there and just just
Just
lower the interest rates.
yeah, someone needs to go in there and get a hold of just do some, like, cyber attacks on the in the video game.
Yeah, of course, this is all in GTA, right? This is
Yeah,
all
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
GTA.
yeah, yeah, 100%. It's just a it's a mod of GTA that most people don't know about and stuff. But yeah, just go into the video game and go in there and just remove do a massive cyber attack on the whole real estate market so that way houses are back at an affordable price, please. And the economy.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Go, the federal banking systems in the video game, go in there and wipe everyone's debt free and just make it 0 again, put it back to 0. In a video game, it can't be that difficult to do, especially if they can just plug a USB drive into a computer in one of the banks and get in.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the last one, the last little fun fact that's like a crazy fact is corporate ecosystems discussion. So a dedicated session led by Cyber's CEO Herman Greff and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak discussed the evolution and sustainability of corporate ecosystems in the digital world, highlighting the intersection of technology, business, and governance.
I
It's,
don't know what that means.
uh, to be honest, it's like it's kind of like basically they just had talks about the effects of the infrastructure and what the infrastructure operates in and connects with, uh, you know, on a function level and productivity level and secureness level. Like it's and how well it manages itself and things of that nature. That's it. That's basically from what I took from it. Now, I didn't like read the details on that stuff, like because I could pull it up, but I don't know. But it's probably a mouthful. It's probably like a whole bunch more information of like a bunch of different shit. Um, yeah, yeah.
Sick, dude. Do you know anything about QTAR with ChatGPT?
The fuck is QTAR?
Q-star rather, I'm sorry, Q-star.
What is Q star?
So Q-star is, if I remember correctly, it is
Is it called Q star like the letter Q, like the letter
in the
Q?
asterisk. It's like Q in the asterisk.
Oh, wait. So it's Q asterisk sign.
Asterisk. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a star that they refer to as Q star, which is like it's supposed to be like a mind virus of ChatGPT and other AIs, so they're unable to go to like a general AI, so they don't have that full open brain. But I believe if I'm not mistaken,
Wait,
there's
is
been
it
like
it's a virus?
so it's not a virus. It's like they call it the woke mind virus, so that it's unable to like say bad things and do bad things. But the CEO of ChatGPT, when he got fired recently in OpenAI, he said that there was huge, huge implications and things that they found out about QStar that ChatGPT has not been telling them, or something of that sort. That it has like gotten past it. So they
Wait,
think that
can you kind of define what Q star is in like 3 words? Like what kind of object it is? Like is it a virus? Is it a an algorithm? Is it a
So
two to yeah.
what it is referred to as, um, oh god, it's just the virus. It's a Q-star is a virus. It's That's why it won't say slurs and mean things. They like s- they the OpenAI. God, I can't explain it well. I don't know. I mean, just give it a quick Google. What is quick Q-star?
I don't know. I know that with Atarisk, in depending on how you use an Atarisk, you can use it as like a wild card character. You use it in like different programming languages for like various uses. Uh, Password fields. Like that's the only thing I
Yeah,
know
so
about the
it's
Atarisk. Come on, man. Like stuff like that. But um.
I'm sorry, I'm reading something real quick. So Q-star is its brain. That they refer to it as the brain of of ChatGPT, and the OpenAI is referred to as Q-star, um, which is Q
Oh,
asterisk.
I found something. So this is about the Q star. You want me to read it?
Please go ahead.
So the open AI saga that started last week seems to have finally come to an end. The precise reason why Sam Altman was fired from the company is still unclear. However, a recent report mentioned a new major development in OpenAI that could be one of the reasons why Altman was removed. Some insiders believe that Q star, which is actually written the letter Q with an asterisk afterwards, is a new model under development that could be a breakthrough in the company's quest for artificial general intelligence, also known as AGI. According to a report by Reuters, AGI, as defined by OpenAI, refers to autonomous systems that outperform humans in most economically valuable tasks. The researchers also mentioned that this could threaten humanity. The report also links the OpenAI boardroom saga with the mega discovery. It claims that the researchers had sent a letter to the board informing them about the threats of the new discovery. One day later, Sam Altman was fired. And then there's like, it says, what is QStar? QStar will be able to perform math at the level of grade school students that may seem like a small feat, but the AGI has shown promise in solving certain mathematical problems given vast computing resources. Well, ChatGPT can already do that. You can literally
So
you can literally give it made up um, calculus questions, like, problems, and it can solve them. And then it explains to you how you do it. It literally can do it like that. Like if you type in, say, "Hey, don't give me an explanation, just give me the answer," and you make
so
up
I
the
th-
calculus problem,
I
it
think
spits it
the
out.
issue is with ChatGPT is that it is not very good at math. So granted, calculus is relatively difficult for somebody who doesn't understand how it works. Calculus is pretty basic on the scale of mathematics. Um, so ChatGPT being really bad at it, in terms of like multi quantum computing of mathematic equations, is
Yeah.
a scary thought, because if we are basing our reality out of AI and it is telling us how to do everything and it is just bad, it's just not good at doing anything like math and science and understanding how things work, then our society would probably eventually collapse because we're so reliant on something that doesn't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
That's what would make it so scary. I do think that he said that there's a massive breakthrough with the Q star, meaning that they might have gotten smarter, or that they were like, "Oh shit, this is all wrong. We fucked up on AI. This thing is actually not doing what we wanted it to do." Probably something like that. And in that regard is what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went ahead and I just went on the Chat GPT just now and I asked it about Q star just to
Oh
see
yeah?
what it's gonna say. It said, it's still typing out a bunch of shit. Okay, it just stopped. So it says it is a specific project, concept, and internal code name, but as of my last update in April 2023, there was no widely known or publicly disclosed project or concept named QStar directly associated with OpenAI. OpenAI, known for its work in an intelligent blah 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 blah. Yeah, so basically it say I don't know anything. Bitch, it's inside you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it to you right now. Say it to her right now. It's like, don't play coy. How do you spell coy? COY?
Ugh, I don't know.
Uh coy with me. That's what I'm typing. Don't play coy with me. It's inside you like a load of sperm. That's literally what I just said to it. I'm wondering what it says. I am here to provide accurate and respectful assistance based on, like how it says respectful assistance based on the information available to me. If you have any questions or needs, blah 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 blah.
Well, I
blah,
guess
just spitting out a bunch of bullshit.
the Q star aspect is the next step to general AI for like just conscious based artificial intelligence where the robots are cognitive. So this gentleman, I forget the guy's name already, who owned and was the CEO or whatever of OpenAI, saying that there was major breakthroughs in QStar and then getting fired almost right afterward and then rehired a week later. Um, I don't know. It's kind of eerie and kind of exciting at the same time.
Yes. OpenAI cognitive capabilities. Cognitive, you mean cockative. Cognitive, you mean
Christ.
cockative. Cognitive, you mean cock. Cognitive, cognitive, cock. That's all it is. I'm switching the scenes back and forth very fast.
That was a really awesome poem you just did, Ben. That was awesome. Should we end it here? Is that the good end to a podcast?
It's a
Have we
fast
gone long
blast
enough?
cock of cognitive. Cock, cognitive cock. Blast. Load. Digital sperm.
And yeah, that's
Dude,
fucking crazy, dude.
I was literally just switching the views back and forth between us as I was saying each word back and forth. Like, it was like, so it was going to you making your face, and it was me going cock. Like, sorry, I couldn't help myself. But yeah, I
what a
mean,
morning.
I think we're at the ending. I say we give a 3-minute warning. You know, we're gonna wrap it up. But yeah, I mean, I know this episode was a little weird because we didn't like talk about like the only thing that we talked about that was a real thing was the Operation Cyber Polygon. That was the only thing we talked about that was a real thing. The Multiversal IT Department, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. You'll never know. Never
We
know.
may never ever know.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the G Star thing and how it was like OpenAI was
G
owned by
Star,
Elon Musk.
G Star. I thought it was Q Star. You just
Oh
said
yeah, Q Star,
G
Q Star,
Star.
Q Star.
Yeah, you said G
That
Star. I thought of G String, the
that's
star with the
that,
string. The star covers the vagina.
that's the fucking Andrew Tate version of Q Star. It's top
Dude, dude,
G
dude, dude, dude,
stars.
dude, 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 dude. Dude, speaking of Andrew Tate, did you see the interview he did with fuckface, some douchebag? I hate the
No.
guy. He was on who's that Logan Paul idiot? He was on his podcast there for a while. He's some Jesus freak who was supposed to like super Christian who was supposed to be also a comedian who was never ever funny. And then now he's no longer on Logan Paul's thing. Anyways, I came across an article about. Anyways, so he has his own show or something now, whatever. And he had Andrew Tate on there, which, by the way, I hate the guy who was on Logan Paul's show, who's supposed to be this Christian and also a comedian. Like, he's not funny, and the shit he says about like from his dogmatic belief is so fucking stupid. It's like no one gives a fuck, dude. Like, fuck your belief. I don't give a shit. But point is, um, sorry, I hate those Molly Christian types. Or those like Jesus, I'm a devout person. Fuck your own face. I'm devout to this dick and having sex.
These
Boom. I'm
nuts.
just kidding. I don't know. I was just talking to my asshole just now. But anyways, with Drag, what'd you say?
I'm
These nut what? These
yeah,
what?
I'm reliable to these nuts.
Hell yeah, brother. I had to switch. I wanted to switch the view to you of you saying these nuts, which I
Oh, that's
did.
nice.
Now I'm back to me. Anyways, so um so he was talking about crying. Andrew Tate was like, I don't cry. Because he was like reflecting on the thing with prison and stuff like that. And he was just like, He's like, yeah, I didn't cry. He's like, I may have had, you know, I had tears run down, like my eyes leaked, and I had like one or two tears come through whenever I like do this thing for my daughter or this and that. And he's like, well, that's crying. And he's like, no, that's not crying. Crying's an action where you actually sit there and you cry. He's like, just because my eyes leaked does not mean I cried. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Dude's out of his fucking mind.
It's like, just because there's liquid coming out of my fucking face does not mean I'm fucking crying. It's like, damn, dude.
Oh, no,
Like,
no top G cries, man. Only because my eyes were leaking man water doesn't mean I'm not a man. I don't cry worth nothing. I'm a top G.
dude, it was the weirdest thing to hear him say that, because I'm like, there's no, dude, like, that's technically like, you are crying. You could say you're emotional, right? You have an emotional moment. But like, and I get if you want to be like, listen, I'm not gonna sit there and cry and be like a little bitch and like, me, I'm so sad. Like, if that's what he's meaning, okay, well then just say like, yeah, I didn't do that. But if your eyes leak tears, um, that's still a form of crying. You're just, but the context to why it's happening and to what level it's happening, you could at least expand upon, right?
The dude's a fucking goober. He's a
Dude,
nutcase.
I don't cry. That's an action where you sit there and you do it. Rah. And then it's like, my
He's like,
eyes
well,
leaked, but I
listen, there are
wasn't crying.
multiple scenarios where I would cry per se. If I'm getting hurt or if I'm thinking about coming, I'm going to probably cry.
Dude, I cried like 5 times last night.
Just now? Oh, wow.
Last night, dude. Yeah, and sometimes you could technically make your whoever your counterpart you're with cry too, if your load tends to not go inside of something and it's just more of put the load on something that also has a face.
Sometimes they'll cry if it goes inside too. Like, oh fuck, now I'm gonna be pregnant.
Not with me, bitch. I'm snipped. Bareback, baby. Let's go.
All
Hell
right,
yeah.
all right. I think we should end it. Yeah.
You can make someone cry. Sperm.
Okay, Ben. Okay, Ben.
No. Oh,
Okay, Ben. Come on.
anyways. I got you. Anyways, yeah, that wraps up this whole thing. I just thought it was funny with the whole Andrew Tate thing because he was like,
Me too.
I don't cry. But
If you all made it this far, thank you so much for listening.
yes, hopefully we get a our simulated environment gets an update.
Yeah,
And
no shit, right?
when I get an update, I really hope that I'm taller. You know, get it? Get it? Like I'm taller.
You know,
You get
that
it?
was beautiful. My internet just lagged, and I came back to you laughing. I just lost connection for like 10 seconds. That was awesome.
Oh, that was weird. No wonder, because I looked to my right because I have Discord over here, and I noticed that you were frozen in one spot, and I was like, "Oh shit, did he just like disconnect on us?" And said, "Fuck that podcast, I'm out. I'm out."
All right,
That would make
let's
sense.
fucking end this. I'm done. Let's end this.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. And we will see you guys next week. And we're not going to tell you what the episode's going to be about.
That's because we have no idea yet.
Yeah. So say goodbye, Evan. Goodbye, you dumb fucks who listen. I'm just kidding. I'm a dumb fuck
Bye,
too. We're
Evan.
all in the same place together. All at once. Menergy. You need energy? Be a man, and then it's menergy. Is that me? Mother Nature doesn't like it? Kick her in her stupid face because she's a woman. With your
Bye,
energy
Evan.
legs. Anyways, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna stop recording. But bye, guys. See you guys next
Bye-bye.
time. What'd you say? Did you say bye? Oh, look, I got the camera on you and I'm still recording. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you said Evan say bye, so I said bye.
Sexual. Bisexual.
That was tight, dude.
Sound
Got
clip,
him. Got
sound
him.
clip. All right, bye, guys. See you guys later.